The Laughing Cavalier here, presenting to you another tale of these troubled times. And it's another unscripted video with, actually not many notes this time because there's nothing to talk about. Because nothing has happened. I think we're getting to the point now where the Tudor drama era, which, it comes and goes in phases, because if you go back to the 70s, you had, you know, the Six Wives series, and Elizabeth R, Shadow of the Tower, and of course all the bunch of the movies in the 60s, and then it sort of petered out, then it was gone for a while, then you kind of late 90s Elizabeth, you had another phase, and then the Henry VIII series with Ray Winston, which is, I think it's 10 years old soon, that's fun. Then it faded out again, then the Tudors again, phased out, and then we had this period, I think starting in 2017, I'd say, probably with, actually, what do we say? I mean, you had the White Queen in 2013, I know that's technically medieval, but you know what I mean, because then that started the Star series, which is like, you know, White Princess and the Spanish Princess, and then we had all becoming Elizabeth and stuff, and then I think we're getting to the end of it, primarily due to the thing that happened that caused all the lockdowns. And most recently, the actors and writers' strike has killed a lot of productions, which I think, well, is that a good or a bad thing that we're not going to see many more? I'm not sure. But I best bet the only bit of news we've really had about new Tudor dramas is Wolf Hall again. And we finally have absolute concrete confirmation that it's happening. Because the other day, because I'm recording this on the 22nd of November. It's actually the day Napoleon comes out. That'll be fun, but I'll have to do that in another video. They have confirmed Wolf Hall will start filming very soon. And they put out this press announcement that it's a stunning and unforgettable adaptation of Hilary Mantel's sublime novels. I hope that's true, because this is the problem with these press conferences. They tell you how wonderful it is, and then... But again, I've not seen season 1, I don't think, since I did the quick review all them years ago. And obviously there are problems with season 1, definitely. But it was definitely a lot more faithful, I feel, than pretty much all the other sort of modern ones. So I'm hoping they get this one right. So far, from what we know, the casting is more or less the same. Well, at least for the relevant characters. Obviously, you know, a bunch are dead, like Anne Boleyn. But we know Damien Lewis is returning. Obviously, Mark Rylance as Thomas Cromwell. Apparently, it says here Jonathan Pryce returned to Cardinal Wolsey, which is odd because he's dead. That don't sound right, but it must. I'm assuming they're going to do some sort of flashback again. I haven't read the books. I think I read the first one years ago, and I've not read the second or third. And the third. This is based on the third book. Is it The Mirror and the Light, I think? Because, yeah, the first book is Wolf Hall, then it's Bringing Up the Bodies, then it's Mirror and the Light, I think. So maybe he comes back in a flashback or something to Cromwell, that might be it. But they haven't yet announced any of the new casting, because obviously there's going to be a few new characters. I mean, I assume the Pilgrimage of Grace will be a major event, so we're probably going to have, you know, Robert Ask. I'm trying to think who else new they probably have. I think Catherine Howard will probably briefly turn up in there, but she won't be too relevant, just kind of a cameo, more or less. They haven't yet said where it's going to be filming. I will imagine Bristol. That's where a lot of season 1 was filmed. That's also where Becoming Elizabeth was filmed, because Bristol is slowly becoming almost like I say British version of Hollywood. It's a really low. No offense to Bristol. Bristol isn't Hollywood, you know, to look at, but it's a nice little place though. So Bristol will not be permitted to fall. So I'll imagine they'll use a lot of the buildings there. Maybe some of the costumes for Becoming Elizabeth might be available now. That's permanently gone. Which I'll get onto a bit later, perhaps. But obviously they've only just announced it was filming. In the last video I did, I think it was nearly a year ago now, Mark Grant said the scripts are nearly done back then, so obviously pre-production is taking quite a while. Also, as I mentioned in the previous video, one of the concerning things is obviously Hilary Mantel passed away last year, so she doesn't have any control over this, so we'll have to see what if the writers can do without her. You know, she would have had some influence over that, and that's now gone, so we'll see. But obviously they've got to film it first, and if it's starting filming now, which is now in November, if we say November, December, I mean, Becoming Elizabeth, that took about 6-7 months to film, and another 6-7 months for that release, so that got a bit delayed, so I would guess, I think a year from now, I would say November, December of 2024 is when we'll see, but that's a guess. It could even be pushed back to mid-2025. When did season 1? Wolf Hall... Give me a minute, I haven't really prepared for this, it was a bit of an on-the-fly video. So February 2015 was the last episode. Yeah, January to February 2015. When was it filmed? Does it say here? Right, so BBC commissioned in 2012. When was it filmed? Right, so season 1 was filmed, according to this Wikipedia, May to July of 2014, and then that was released in January 2015, so about 6 months after, and it actually only took about 3 months, but I think it'll be longer just because of there are still some lingering effects of the thing and restrictions on that. Not much, but you get little bits. Yeah, I'm going to guess a year. So yeah, I haven't really got much more news on this. I'll probably keep doing community posts, informing people what's happening as soon as we find information. And yeah, that's the only real concrete thing we got. I'll briefly just go over the other things. Firebrand, it was released at the Cannes Film Festival. Mixed reviews, and it's weird because I was expecting a trailer not long after that, because there was a lot of sort of media promotion. They were doing press tours, there's all these clips and so on. They released some pictures, which I'll go into in a minute, and then nothing. We've not heard anything. Maybe, again, the strikes influenced that, but the thing is, this was largely a production in Britain with a mainly British actor. I don't think there's any American actors in this, as far as I'm aware. So it's odd that was delayed. I mean, I think Amazon have got the rights to stream it, but I don't know whether it's going to get any sort of theatrical release or if it's going to go straight to streaming. In which case, will we even get a trailer? That's worrying. The pictures, though, I've got a few here, I think. Yeah, we got a load of pictures. Again, as up until this point, we had a few blurry little sort of 1 second way away and a couple that leaked, but got some decent ones, and they've done a pretty decent job with the costumes, from what I can see. I'll flash some of these up on screen as I'm talking. We've got pretty good French hoods, honestly. They look pretty accurate for the period. Got nice tapestries in the background as well. I have heard a few concerning things with the plot, which I think I went into the last video, so I won't repeat myself here. But other than that, yeah, I can't say any more news because we got nothing. That's really it for the dramas, to be honest. I was in there, Becoming Elizabeth got cancelled. They did briefly air it on Channel 4 a year after it came out, so it's like, oh, maybe if you'd done that at the time, you might have got more views, but I think they'd already decided just to can it. And that was immediately gone off the Channel 4 iPlayer, though, which is weird, because they have, the entirety of the Tudors is on there, so they got the rights to that. And the Elizabeth miniature series Channel 4 did with, we'll forget who they did it with, I'll flash up on screen, back in 2004, was on there. And then Becoming Elizabeth was on there briefly, and now it's gone, because apparently it was just a limited thing they had on there, which is a shame, so... It's annoying, because it would be nice to at least got, the Lady Jane Grey stuff, because that'd be interesting, but... although apparently, again, I didn't want to talk about this one, because it's a comedy, and this obviously technically not part of this, but I do have to mention that they're doing an alt history Lady Jane Grey series on Amazon. This was filmed last year, and again, this is another one that has been absolutely no news. It was filmed a year ago. It was meant to be out by now, from what I understand, 2023. And there's not been a trailer, there's been no news, which makes me wonder if Amazon will quietly cancel it, or if they'll just suddenly... It'll be a bit like the Blood, Sex and Royalty on Netflix. They'll just quickly drop it and that's it, done. It's based on a book. If you saw the last video, unscripted video I did, you'll have seen the little blurb I perhaps flashed up on the screen. The book is awful. I felt terrible after watching. Downfall, the movie, about the death of Hitler, and not the famous scene where he's ranting at Jones. That's why I prefer. But when there's a scene where they come in and they tell him, "Oh, sorry, Venk's army can't come. The Ninth Army is stuck." And then he just looks to Vin, he sort of ambles out the room, and then he turns to Gunther and he says, "Oh, I'm going to go shoot myself." That was kind of me after trying to read this book. It's awful. Because it's an alt history where Lady Jane Grey doesn't get overthrown and beheaded. And that could be an interesting alt history. In fact, actually, because I'm tentatively doing a history video series on Lady Jane Grey. I've recorded the intro and I'm scripting, but it's going to be a very long project. And I'm possibly even thinking maybe seeing if I can hire a few people or something to voice people to, when I'm reading out the historical quotes and stuff. But I don't know yet.
You're not being indecisive, are you?
No, I just can't make up my mind.
And honestly, interesting reading that it was a lot closer, I think, than people give it credit for. If a few things hadn't changed, if Northumberland, hadn't gone with the army, if the squadron if they'd just been paid properly and hadn't mutinied and joined Mary, things could have been dramatically different. So there is basis for this alt history. But instead with this book, they've decided to, get rid of the religion aspect, so Protestants and Catholics, and replace it with shape-shifting. I was like, oh god. I would read out, actually, but I don't want to do that right now. I'll flash it up on screen
Pay attention. We've tweaked minor details. We've completely rearranged major details. Some names have been changed to protect the innocent, or not so innocent, or simply because we thought a name was terrible and we liked another name better. And we've added a touch of magic to keep things interesting. So really anything could happen. This is how we think Jane's story should have gone. Edward's eyebrows lifted.
You want me to get married and produce an heir in less than a year?
That could be fun. That would definitely involve kissing with tongue. Dudley glanced at the far wall, which bore a large portrait of Henry VIII, and Edward realized how foolish he sounded. His father had never been able to control his lion form. The anger would take him and then the fangs would come out, literally, and he would remain a lion until his anger abated.
Hello, cousin.
Edward said.
You're looking well. Why don't you sit down and have a nice cup of
tea? He was going to offer. Because he was English and that's what the English do under stress, they drink tea.
Just some bits to give you an idea, which makes me think this is probably not going to be very good. Particularly the casting of it. There might be, well, they're not. I mean, they've got some. You know, Jim Broadbent is in this as the Duke of Leicester. Okay. Where's the other? Rob Brydon's Lord Dudley, even though he's the Duke of Northumberland at this point. But anyway,
it's one of the 7 Dudley sins.
Yes, thank you.
But I mean, the actress that got played Lady Jane Grey is Emily Bader, who's in her mid-late 20s, from California or somewhere. Is not suitable at all for Jane. And then you got, well, I'm just going to flash up a picture on screen here of the actor playing King Edward VI, you know, who was, well, I'll put them next to each other. You can see there, and I think, you know, it's uncanny. I can't tell the difference. It's need I say more? Yeah, that's. I don't want to watch this. I said this way back about like the Mary Queen of Scots movie and Spanish Princess. Like I'm not going to watch this. I'm not going to do it, and then I did. But I don't want to watch this. But I don't know if it'll ever come out, or if it will, it'll probably just be quickly dumped and gone. But it's obviously it's not for me. But yeah, at this point, is there anything? I don't think there's anything else I can say. I wonder if there'll even be enough for me to do a video on this next year, because like I say, it's only really just Wolf Hall coming out, maybe Firebrand. But if we eventually do get Firebrand, I will do a quick review on it. Although I'm probably going to be busy with Napoleon for a bit, because as I said, today's the day it's releasing actually. And also, everyone, thank you for watching the video. I know I think one of my best performing videos. I've got 14,000 views last I checked. I'll just have a quick look while I'm here. Give me a minute. I would go through my YouTube studio. 14,600. Yep. So it's done very well. Oh yeah, but there's also an annoying thing. I should have mentioned this at the start. Really, YouTube's changed the advert policy, so now apparently they're going to stick mid-roll ads in all videos. So if you get adverts in the mid, I'm sorry. I never usually put those. I never put those on my videos at all. But YouTube is now forcing them. So my advice is obviously if you don't want to be bombarded with adverts, just please use that blocker. I know that would lose me revenue, but honestly, I don't like annoying ads. That's why I didn't want to inflict it on people. But YouTube is now just making you do it. So thanks YouTube. Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, so the Napoleon movie is coming out. I'm probably going to be working on that for quite a bit. I'm hoping to get Tudor Rat 5 done at some point. I have it all recorded. It's all there. It's just taken a while to edit. So, what other stuff? And obviously, I've got other stuff recorded. And I'm going to say this verbally just so I don't get more comments. I'm not working Waterloo Part 2 at the moment because how I used to do those videos is different now with the copyright system. I used to just show loads of clips and do it chronologically. That's always getting me claimed. In fact, only 6 months ago, I got a claim on the Waterloo Review where they thought it's from a police show from the 1970s. So that's on hold. You might have guessed because it's been some while. And at the minute, I just, this Napoleon movie is really got my interest at the moment, so I will do a quick review of that. In fact, by the time you hear this, I might have already done a little parody video. Might be out maybe, depending how the film is. And so yeah, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, also just another thing, I have a Discord. The link should be in the description if you want to go and join that. I sometimes hang out there and moan about everything. That's who I am. I will say, I'm not really using my Patreon as much as well, but I have now set up channel memberships, which have... What would I say? I can't remember. There's only one tier of membership, which is Trooper, and is that £1 a month, I think? I think I set that £1. I can't look. Where is it? Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, I said yes. Well, I'm sure I said about £1 a month roughly. There's not many. It's mainly just a way of just if you want to support the channel, just as a little, just like a tip almost. Just as a subscription thing. If my channel got bigger and I was able to do more things, I probably can't do streaming. Just my internet is absolutely awful here in rural Norfolk. But if I ever start doing things like that, then I might do extra tiers. Maybe give a few like previews to members and stuff. But yeah, other than that, I think that's about it. Anyway, this has been the Laughing Cavalier, wishing you a good day.